Welcome to Toffee TV. It is live at 5. It is me and Ned. Get your comments in, get your questions in, get your random thoughts in as well, if you wouldn't mind. The random, the better for Ned. You've seen his track record of dealing with basic things. Let's unearth more of them today, I say. That's what I say, Ned.
We nationalise.
We're gonna
Ned.
What are we gonna nationalise next, Ned?
Digestive biscuits. I was actually having to think of stuff we can nationalise.
Oh yeah.
Night.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't think of anything.
No.
I don't know what's nationalised and what isn't, to be honest. Let's get straight into the comments, shall we? Jay Munsey's at number 1 again. How does he do it?
How does he do it?
How does he do this?
He's nationalised the comments.
I can't believe you've done this. He must have some sort of supercomputer.
He's got like a super wand.
Gary Ward says howdy. Hello. Terry McAllister. Hello, Hello, Peter.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, Peter.
I think Terry's being menacing.
I think Terry really likes that trailer.
Which one? Oh, the Spider-Man one.
That's where the comments come from.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's been menacing.
Hello, Peter.
He's been menacing. Saying that's what it's... Look, that sounded like a teacher when I was in trouble in school. Hello, Peter. Alpha Moreno. A fine actor, who's been on a lot of things.
I've only ever seen him in Spider-Man 2.
No one's seen him in Spider-Man 2.
I couldn't say anything at the beginning, I'm not going to lie.
Where do you think he's from?
Alfred Moreno.
Yeah.
America?
No, he's from here.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like Liverpool?
No, from this country.
Where's he from?
I think he's from London.
Is he?
Yeah. He was good in, he was good in Boogie Nights.
I've not seen Boogie Nights.
You've never seen Boogie Nights?
Maybe he was in a really good... Hey, that's interesting.
You've never lived?
One of the actually 2 of the Spider-Men are from London as well, aren't they? Garfield was from London. Or like raised in London. And so is Tom Holland. All good actors.
The best actors come from this country.
John Washburn says top 5. Well done.
He's in the top 5. There you go.
Stuart Thompson said, hello, 3rd round of the League Cup. Draw tonight, isn't it?
It is.
Are they still doing North and South in this round? In this draw?
I don't know. Hopefully. Makes sense.
If that's the case, we can get Wigan.
Wigan would be a good one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wigan would be a good one. Home or away.
5-minute travel. 5 minutes.
Is it 5 minutes from your house?
20-minute travel. No, it's not even. It's like half 20, 30 minutes. DW. It's further away from my house than here is.
Yeah.
But like, it's a nice trip for everyone.
So have
really,
you just made the case of it being 5 minutes from your house?
It's like a 5-minute drive, isn't it, really?
Is it though?
That's what they say. It's like.
Is that what they say?
If it's like a 20-minute drive, they say how long's the drive? 5 minutes. And it's really 20 minutes. Rounding down.
This is incredible insight into how your mind works.
Everton Viking said this early, but Keane just isn't a good defender. He said this on the final word before. Hasn't got a good defender's mentality. He isn't consistent. Consistently inconsistent.
Yeah. Technically, I'm just going to say this. Technically, the DW is 28 minutes from where you live. It's 11 miles away.
The DW Stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
is quite a far drive. How do you know where I live?
Because I do.
Hello, Thomas.
Yeah, we're live.
He's after more of those fish fingers.
I know what he's after. I know what you're after. Yeah, nice one. It's because you're in it. You're after sweets.
He's after those fish things. Bobby C says, Brands has said that every player has a valuation, and if someone offers that amount or more, then we'll sell. Likewise, we won't now, unlike previous profit legacy, pay more than our valuation for a player. Interesting. AJ No says some songs.
Go on. Now. Let's do them now then.
Number 1.
It's gone early, but let's do them now.
Leather and jeans. Garage, glamorous, not sure what it means, but this photo of us, it don't have a price. Ready for those flashing lights, cause you know that, baby, I am your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me.
Lady Gaga, paparazzi. Like that.
What does that one go like?
Literally what those words are.
Pat, 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 pat.
No, it doesn't.
What does it go like, that one? Paparazzi.
Paparazzi.
Is that how it goes, paparazzi?
Yeah.
It should go, paparazzi.
That's what it goes like. Paparazzi, lad.
That sounds like a great song.
Paparazzi, Lady Gaga.
Number 2, like a river flows, surely to the sea, darlings of a goes, some things are meant to... Oh no, that's not... Oh no, I was thinking Unchained Melody. Take my hand, take my whole life too. Oh, it's Elvis Presley, isn't it? Wise men say
only fools rush in, 'cause I can't help falling in love with you. How do you think I know that song? Because that was my wedding song.
I know,
but it wasn't Elvis who sung
it. And it's a karaoke song.
It was an Irish group called Lick the Tins, and it was in a film called Some Kind of Wonderful, which starred Eric Stoltz and Leah Thompson from Back to the Future.
I remember because you played it for me on a Patreon Live at 5.
But I have been known to sing the Elvis version on karaoke as well, quite a few times.
Wise men say, thank you very much. Only fools rush in.
That's when the record, you put it on the wrong speed. Go ahead, what's the next one? Is that 2 out of 2? Yeah, go on.
Number 3, it's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. How wonderful you are. But you're in my... That is Elton John.
You gotta go full Elton.
But also done by Nicole Kidman and Hugh McGregor in...
Hugh McGregor?
In
got a great voice.
Dingo. Was it Nicole Kidman?
I didn't know Hugh McGregor.
Dingo, who was in... Dingo Rouge, Moulin Rouge. Was it Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I've never seen you in
Is that a dog playing a piano?
That's Elton John.
Was it Nicole Kidman?
I don't no idea. I didn't know Nicole Kidman could sing.
Yeah, it was Nicole Kidman, of course it was.
I know Hugh McGregor could sing. He's a great singer.
Nicole Kidman. Well, Nicole Kidman sung a song with Robbie Williams.
So did Hugh McGregor. No, it was Harry Barlow.
They called Take That.
A drink or two, and then we'll go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you.
Right, so that's 3 out of 3. What's the next
Number
one?
4, my love has taken a tumble. Oh, but I'm still standing. You're such a natural. Sing, that's what you are. Say I wouldn't steer you wrong now, baby. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I don't know this one.
My love has taken a tumble. My love has taken a tumble. It's not there, not this. Why have you gone off the page? I need to see what's next. I didn't know what that one was. I can't think.
My love has taken a tumble. I don't know that one.
Well, what's the next one?
Number 5, I would take the stars out of the sky for you. Stop the rain from falling if you ask me to. I'd do anything for you. Your wish is my command. I could move a mountain when your hand is in my head. I know that one,
but I can't think of it.
It's like a 4-boy band.
Say it again.
I would take the stars out of the sky for you. Stop the rain from falling if you ask me to.
Yeah, that's a well-known one that I should be getting, but I just can't think of it. Some songs just pop in my head and some don't.
It's like a 4-boy band. That are all like they're stood on a mountain with clouds, and they're all just going.
Stood on a mountain.
Like that. I love you. I don't know what it is though. It's really annoying me now that.
Oh.
I definitely know that song.
I'm sure we'll get told.
Get the answers in the comments, AJ. Bobby C, without CL Champions League football, we won't attract players like Denzel Dumfries, even though we've scouted them for ages. Make them decent offers. It's Europe we need, isn't it? Because then you get your.
You get in there first, I suppose. If you get in there first and give them a pathway, then I think you still can sign these players. A lot of players want to play in the Premier League. They want to play. They get very good wages. So, of course, not having European football is tough, and you have to get them even younger then. and go and look for really, really promising 19, 20, 21-year-olds. You've got to find good players early. That's the key to everything. Find good, get a Denzel Dumfries when he's 22, 23, not 20, 25. That's the key. Get them early. You've got to know though they're going to be good players, and if you can't be certain, don't pay over the odds for them. Whereas Everton have paid really stupid, mad prices for players who you can't really. Yeah.
Gareth Hughes.
Oh yeah, I've just got that one now.
Number 5.
Yeah. Say the lyrics again.
I'm gonna have to go back up. I would take the stars out.
I would take the stars out the man for you.
Oh,
do if you want me to. Oh, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby, oh baby. Who was it? It wasn't hot. Was it hot chocolate? Was it hot chocolate?
I was going to say Peter Andre.
You know, if I could physically abuse you, I would, but
I'd go straight to HR.
Exactly.
But you're HR.
I might suspend me. Go on, what's next?
Maybe because you sounded like Peter Andre when you sang it.
Is that what it was? It's me 6-pack as well. Oh, mysterious girl. Mysterious girl.
Maybe,
I want to get down with you.
Maybe it's because you used to date Katie Price.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't? She got 3 kids by me, yeah.
Gareth Hughes says, as usual, a lot of negativity on social media about last night. We're in the hat for the next round after resting basically our whole starting 11. Just enjoy those positives. As the legend that is Astro said, an ugly win is still a win. An ugly win is still a win.
An ugly win is a win, bitch.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Those people must be so unhappy and find no joy in life. What made me laugh about Gareth's reaction, though, he said, the rest were just doing my head in. Like, oh, it was a boring game.
Is he Roy Kent?
Oh, the goal was good. But then at the end, he was like, he just went, I didn't watch the game because it wasn't on telly. It was like, so you just sat there just going...
Doing a reaction.
Just going, I'm just so annoyed at referees. What score is it? I'm just so annoyed at referees. So
have you watched this week's...
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso?
With the famous Gillette Soccer special.
Have you watched... The last 5 minutes is amazing, isn't it?
Where he's like makes the long walk.
When he's making the walk.
It's like,
Don't ruin it.
It reminds me of Love Actually.
It's amazing.
Get me to the airport.
It's amazing.
To the stadium.
Let me in. Oh, you look a bit like Roy Kent. Oh, fucking hell, Roy Kent. This ticket's been... I thought the bit when he went to the box office reminded me of Talladega Nights. It's like, this ticket's been waiting here for a long time.
Why does the bloke go in the bathroom and just goes... What's his name? The assistant, not the assistant, the coach. One of the coaches.
Yeah. Fella used to be the kit man.
He just walks in the bathroom and just goes...
Spits in the wind. Why is it spit in the mirror?
I'm dead hard, mate. Spits on the mirror. It's like...
Roy Kent's walk is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully that sets it up. Oh my God, your mouth smells like something's died.
I think you might be dying. Are you a dentist?
Oh, I love Roy Kent.
You look well sexy.
He's amazing.
James Pirry says, evening all, been watching a lot of Leslie Nielsen recently. Airplane, Police Squad, etc. as I'm a fan of old comedies. Do you have a favourite Nielsen moment? Mine is when he goes to interrogate women who happens to have big breasts. The women says, is this some kind of bust? Nielsen replies, well, yes, it's very impressive, but we're just here to ask you a few questions.
You have no idea who Leslie Nielsen is,
I know the name, but I couldn't...
You've not seen, put it this way, you've not seen Airplane, Naked Gun, or Police Squad, have you?
Oh, the old fella from Superhero movie with the white hair.
Probably is, yeah. I've not seen Superhero movie.
And he's got a deep voice like this, and he's really funny.
I don't think he hasn't got a deep voice like that, but he has got a deep voice.
And like in Superhero movie, he just goes...
I haven't seen Superhero movie.
It's basically like a mock-up.
No, I know what it is. I know what it is.
There's a scene where instead of Uncle Ben, he's Uncle Ben, but instead of talking about responsibility, he goes, there's one thing you got to remember in life. And he goes, and Spider-Man goes, responsibility? And he goes, I was going to say bitches, but...
People can still hear you.
But he is in Naked Gun.
He's amazing.
So,
he was amazing. I used to like it. It was a joke. Naked Gun. There was a show called Police Squad, and I don't think it did too well in America. when it was on, so they made
Yeah,
Naked Gun. Yeah. So a lot of the jokes out of that. But I used to like the joke, there was a dead tall fella in it that you'd only ever seen now and again, but you'd only ever seen his neck from his neck below. And he'd go, you've got something on your mouth there. And the guy'd go like this, look. He'd go like that. You'd see him reach up to scratch his face, but you wouldn't see him scratch his face because it was off camera. And then you'd see a whole banana fall off. Amazing. But see, the problem with the Naked Gun films is O.J. Simpson was in them. So they've all been slightly soiled by that.
Old J. Simpson. Or old O.J. Simpson.
O.J. You know O.J. Simpson is, don't you?
The name rings a bell.
Oh my God.
O.J.
God, I
Simpson.
hate the youth of today.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh my God.
American football running back. Oh, he's in.
Yeah, that's what he's famous for. That's what O.J. Simpson is famous for. Do you know what his nickname was?
He looks familiar.
Do you know what his nickname was?
The Juice.
The Juice. Why was it The Juice?
Because he was on steroids.
No, because his name's O.J. Orange Juice.
Oh, murder chat. One of the celebrity criminal trials. James Simpson. I've watched a film about him. Or a documentary or something.
How do you not know who O.J. Simpson is?
What did he do?
He got away with murdering his wife. He stabbed his wife. He was arrested for stabbing his wife, and he'll love her, and he was found not guilty because it turned into a big race trial where it was black versus white, because one of the cops who was going to do him was found to have been in possession of Nazi items, and he got this fella called Johnny Cochran, who was like a boss lawyer, like a celebrity lawyer. Right, I'll tell you the whole story now. Not the whole story, but I'll tell you part of the story, right? Johnny Cochran was dead famous. So they did this like thing of like almost like a black versus white. So it was not long after the riots, a couple of years after the riots in LA, so a lot of tensions. So there was a moment in it where he had to put these gloves on, and they were like, don't make him put the gloves on because he'll make a big thing of it. And he did this thing of he put the gloves on, but he made it like, he was like, this glove won't go on. And he's like, making a big thing of it, and the glove wouldn't go on. And he was like, basically, that proved that he didn't do it because the gloves wouldn't fit. But one of his lawyers was Kim Kardashian's dad, Robert Kardashian, right? Not the guy who had the sex change.
The guy with loads and loads of money.
That's not her dad. Her dad was Robert Kardashian, and he was one of the lawyers. He died since, and the mum got remarried. And that's how they all got famous, the Kardashians, because their dad was
he was a famous lawyer.
His dad was a famous lawyer. And in the program, they made a program about it. David Duchovny. No, is it David Duchovny? Is he the one out of Friends?
David Duchovny.
No, he's not. That's the guy out of X-Files, isn't it? What's the guy out of Friends?
David Duchovny's
he's from X-Files.
Fox Mulder, yeah.
Yeah, so who's the fella out of Friends?
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer. He plays him in it. And OJ's played by Cuba Gooding Jr. I can't believe I'm having to explain this to you.
I've seen this, then.
I can't believe I'm having to explain it to you.
I might have seen that.
To be fair, it did happen in like the 90s. But OJ got away with it. But everyone... So what happened was, he went on the run. And they still use this to this day in films and stuff for a laugh. So OJ went on the run. And he got in the white Bronco, his car. And the police chased him down the motorway, and it was filmed live. And it's a dead famous thing. And he's on the phone saying, I'm going to kill myself and all this. And someone else was driving, and he was in the back, and he was like, I'm going to kill myself, blah, blah, blah. And then he slowed down, the police got him, arrested him. And then he went to trial, and he got away with it. It was like the biggest trial of all time.
So
it was live on TV, the trial every day.
So if he got found not guilty, did someone not go after him, or was he just like left alone?
His life's been pretty much ruined since, because there's no one else. No one else has been done for it, because everybody knows.
Like the Olympian guy.
Everybody knows. Right, everybody knows that. But he got away with it. There's no other suspect. There's no other even an essence of a suspect. But then I think they tried him in civil court where they won, which is like, civil court is like, no, you can't go to jail. But in civil court, if you get proved that you did something, basically the court can say you owe that person loads of money. So he lost all his money. And then he got arrested a few years ago in Vegas. He went and he had no money because he was dead famous. He was in films and all kinds. He was endorsements, everything. Dead famous. Like the most, like, if you watch the program, there's programs about him. It's dead interesting because he used to look at himself like he was like white, and he used to say, oh, people say I'm black, but I'm not. And he had loads of endorsements and stuff. And when that happened, he had no more endorsements. He had no money. And he went to a hotel in Vegas, and they had loads of his stuff in cases, like the balls and stuff. And he just went in one day and took it all. And he got done for robbery. And he was like, no, it's all my stuff. And he was like, no, you give this to us. And he was like, yeah, so it's mine. I can take it back. So we went to prison for that. And basically he just plays golf now with some of his mates and probably makes money on stupid little things. But it's the most famous court case in history, O.J. Simpson. So there was a show about a couple of years ago made by the same people who make American Horror Story. You know what that is?
I know what American Horror Story is, yeah.
So the same people who made that made The People versus O.J. Simpson. And Cuba Gooding Jr. played him in that. It's dead good.
I like Cuba Gooding Jr.
It's like I have to teach history. That's the way history should be taught in schools, I think. The way I've just done it.
I think you learn. I can't remember what I learned in history. We just did the war all the time.
Yeah, that's it. You always did things that you weren't interested in. But if someone said to you, do you want to know who Kim Kardashian's dad is and what he did? That's a dead easy way to find something out about someone. That's how they become famous. But Kim Kardashian's mum was best friends with the woman who got killed, Nicole Brown. So, and they were friends with OJ as well. So when that happened, and then Kardashian's husband is defending OJ, and they always said OJ did it, that caused not literal murder, because that already happened, but that caused murder in their house. Because her best friend got murdered, and her husband is defending the man.
Is that why they're divorced?
I don't know what happened, but he died of cancer in the end. And then he remarried.
I always thought Kim Kardashian got famous for something else.
Well, she did, but that's how the family was famous. She did get famous.
Well, they had money anyway.
They had money, but that's why they were a famous family in the first place. Anyway, talk about football.
Amazing. AJ No says, if you could put a band together full of any singer, guitar players, drummers in history, who would it be?
That's you. That's
all right,
you.
Very quickly. Lead vocals, Robert Plant. On guitar, Jimmy Page. And on drums, John Bonham. On bass, Jared Fallowell. Well, it's Led Zeppelin with Jared Fallowell on bass, because I think his bass lines are unbelievable. Let's do some YouTube ones. Go right up. Glenn Watson says first. Have a look. Victor says why we're not in for Yusuf Demir, very good youngster, and Antonio Marin. I don't think I can say I've heard of any of them.
Why are we not in for them? Because we haven't got any money till we sell.
Jordan Parr says, do you do Fantasy Premier League?
I
do, but we have a Super Brew Fantasy Football League.
On our Patreon we do.
We play Ultimate Fan.
On our Patreon, on Discord, we do. We have a Predictor League, and I think we have a Fantasy Football League. I leave it to one of our patrons, Mark, to sort out. I don't get involved. But we have, this year, we have our Ultimate Fan, which is part Fantasy Football, part card-based. What's it called on FIFA?
Ultimate Team.
Ultimate Team. So you get packs. Basically, you get packs. You open them, then you pick a fantasy football team with them. Basically.
The link's in the description.
Richarlison's just put a picture on Twitter of himself sliding to the Gladys seat with star eyes. So
that just made me feel full of love. Glenn Watson says, Ned, what would you add more value to society? Cows bred to the size of chickens, or chickens bred to the size of cows? Chickens bred to the size of cows.
Yeah, it'd be a bit stupid the other way round, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Also, apparently, agent Kia Djorkaeff has told Everton that he has a club that wishes to sign Richarlison. He's told Everton to prepare for an offer and look for replacements.
Newcastle, 20 million.
That's come from Duncan Castles.
Oh,
nonsense. How about that, eh? How about with less than a week of the transfer window, off and leave us alone? About that?
I wouldn't believe Duncan's Castles if he told me this.
I wouldn't believe Duncan Castles if he owned a castle.
If Duncan Castle told me I was sat on this couch, I'd say, get out.
Fair enough.
Steve Bryant said, oh, sorry, I just missed one. Mick C says, well, you might see a better Andre Gomez this season. That terrible injury he had will take a couple of years to be at his best. He has got his Valencia haircut.
I thought he was good last night when he came on. I thought he controlled the game. I thought he got his the midfield sorted, which had been pretty anonymous all game. I think he got it sorted last night, so fair play to him.
Steve Bryant says, hi Ned, what's your opinion on Baz's singing voice? I think he's got the facilities. He's got a good amateur, he's got like a good amateur karaoke. It's like one of them where he goes to karaoke and you're like, he's alright, him.
He's alright for an older fella.
He's alright, him, man, like an amateur voice. So yeah, he's got a decent voice.
What do you think of my amateur voice?
Sol Woodfin says, let's settle the debate now. Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man.
No, he wasn't.
He was the best Peter Parker.
But he wasn't, though.
I think so.
He was like 37.
He was my childhood.
But it wasn't that far.
27 in the first.
It wasn't that far from my childhood, but when I look back, Tom Holland dicks on them all.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is the perfect Spider-Man because he looks the age. He's acrobatic as well, so he does all the stunts.
He looks nerdy.
He looks nerdy. He acts nerdy, but he's got that like new kind of nerdiness about him, which is like you can still be cool but nerdy.
Like tech nerdy.
Yeah, like a tech nerd. So he's got that about him. I prefer Andrew Garfield than I love Tobey Maguire at the time. And when he wakes up and he's doing the old six-pack, I'm like, fair play to you, lad. You've done the work. You've done the work. I respect that.
I do that every morning.
I respect that you've done the work.
Yes.
But when I look back, also, when you find out a few things about Tobey Maguire in real life, and you find out that he's not a particularly nice person, it does. And also Spider-Man 3, one of the worst films ever in the history of the world.
It's just the damn.
It's terrible.
They said to Sam Raimi, want Venom, and Sam Raimi was like, I don't want Venom. And he said, no, you have to have Venom. He's like, I don't know anything about him. So the Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Like
he's amazing.
I
Imagine Tobey Maguire being in a scene with like Tony Stark. Tony Stark would be like, why are you 37? Why? What?
He'd tell a joke and Peter Parker would just be like...
He'd be like, are you one of my employees?
Peter Parker from Spider-Man reminds me a bit like Michael Keane.
Why?
He's a bit too soft. Doesn't have enough confidence as a Spider-Man.
Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man.
Sol says you probably won't believe this, but Tom Holland grew up 2 houses away from where I'm currently living. He went to school in Wimbledon.
South London, yeah. Well, to be fair,
I don't believe you.
Tom Holland's dad is like a comedian. He was on the circuit for years, like just a normal comedian. He was on telly now and again.
What, didn't Tom Holland play a Broadway Billy Elliot?
Not that I know of.
He played Billy Elliot in like some sort of play, didn't he?
The play I imagine would be Billy Elliot
on Broadway. Isn't it
Did
mad
he though?
Isn't it mad how he looks like the kid from the film Billy Elliot?
Hang on.
Who played
hang on.
King
Let
Kong.
me just get comfortable. Hang on. Right. So, he played Billy Elliot in some sort of play. Therefore, that would be Billy Elliot. And then when you say Broadway, do you actually understand what Broadway is, or are you just using that
it's like tour on Broadway in America.
Do you understand what that is?
Yes.
Do you though, or are you just using it in like a broad stroke? Do you know what Broadway is?
Yes.
What is it?
When you go on Broadway.
No. Right. What is Broadway? I'm trying to educate you here. What is Broadway?
America.
Right.
American theatre.
If you don't know what Broadway is,
it's like on the Wirral, but it's in America, so it's on the Broadway. I'm going doing a show on the Broadway, mate. Instead of going doing
So what is it?
It's a line off theatre shows.
No, but what is it though? That doesn't explain it. What is it?
Broadway is Broadway.
No, because you don't know what it is. So what is it?
Broadway.
So what is it?
Hang on.
Put your phone down.
I'm
No.
gonna Google Billy Elliot.
No. What?
It definitely said Tom Holland was Billy Elliot.
It doesn't matter. What is Broadway?
Theatre shows.
Yeah.
On Broadway.
But what's Broadway?
San Francisco. I can't remember. Was that my phone?
No, that's your
I
phone.
want to say.
Broadway is a street in New York.
Oh, that's what I meant.
No, it's not. You
Definitely
didn't
what
have
I
a
meant.
clue. Oh.
Oh no, we played Michael Caffrey and Billy Elliot, so he wasn't Billy Elliot.
And where was that?
Um,
Where did it happen?
on Broadway.
No, where did it happen?
In London production.
So
but
it's
it
not
wasn't on
Broadway?
That's why I said some sort
Did you
of
just think
production.
Broadway was like a loose term for theatre?
No, like at the top when you go.
No.
When you get to the top,
No.
you go on Broadway. I thought it was like a tour, like the top theatre tour you do. I'm going on Broadway.
No, Broadway is a street in New York called Broadway.
So there's only one Broadway.
Yeah. So in London, you have the West End. And that's where all the theatres are, Shaftesbury Avenue, around there, right? In London, in New York, you have Broadway, which is a street, but they're all like dotted round. So that's Broadway. So that's where all the shows are in New York. So when you make it to Broadway, it could be one of...
You've reached peak.
That's peak. That's America's...
Bill Kenwright was on Broadway,
So-
wasn't he?
So when they say... So sometimes they'll say off-Broadway, which is a small theatre around the area. So you're not on Broadway, you're off-Broadway. So that's like you haven't quite made it. So if someone says, oh, I was off-Broadway, that is like somewhere around, right? But when you're on Broadway, it means you're in a theatre around the area of Broadway where all the big theatres are. And in London, it's the West End. And they're the two pinnacle places for when you reach the top. So, and then when they've done that, they'll go, the Broadway show coming to the Liverpool Empire. That means that the show has gone on tour, or straight from the West End on tour around the UK. That means that the show that's been running for however long is now going on tour around the country. So it'd be like Wicked. So Wicked is in Victoria, is in the theatre in Victoria, and that's been there for years. Les Mis was on for years and years and years. They stay for years and years.
Lion King was on Broadway.
And they change and they change. They'll change the actors and stuff, but some of them stay for years. So there was a actual Spider-Man show on Broadway, but it didn't last very long because they spent too much money.
How do you do Spider-Man on Broadway without the...
How do you do a lot of things? Sometimes you watch a film and go, how the hell? I went to see it. Have you ever seen War Horse, the film?
I love War Horse, the film.
Well, that was a play first. Now, how'd you make that a play? But he did, and I saw it first, and it was amazing.
You need to do it on like a field of crops, wouldn't you?
But it's amazing because all he did was just have these little props.
So would it have a real horse, or was it a prop horse?
No, it was a prop horse.
That'd be terrible. If, like
The main
character.
The best bit was when it was like a junior horse, when it was like a small horse, and it changed into a big horse, and this big flash of lightning, and it goes, and next minute it changed into a big horse. Unbelievable. What a show. War Horse was unbelievable. When I went to see that, I was just like, this is unbelievable. And I didn't get to see it in the film for like a year later because it didn't come out on film till about... It'd been on plays for years and then came second.
Did you like the film or the play more?
Both.
I love the film.
But you haven't seen the play?
I didn't like how David Thewis is one of my favourite actors. He was a bad guy in this one.
There's a lot of bad guys.
He was like the landlord.
There's a lot of good guys in it. There's a lot of people who only last 5 minutes in it, like Tom Hiddleston.
That scene is boss when they're trying to... He just goes...
Yeah.
And then
dead sad. Dead sad, but dead good at the same time. Brilliant film. I mean, why are we... Have we got any football questions?
Let's have a look. Well, the next one is from Dick Hill, and he says, I'm not saying John Joe Kenny is a world beater, but he's equal off the level that Seamus Coleman is.
No, he's not! No, he's not! He was terrible last night!
He can't get forward,
Dick.
And he can't... Coleman's a decent defender.
Oh, no,
Kenny's
Dick.
Not a great defender.
This is not the hill.
Forward.
Dick, this is not the hill for you to die on, mate. This is not the hill to die on. John Joe Kenny is not good enough for Everton. He is not good enough.
I'm going to skip some of these rock and roll ones. AJ No said, if you were lead singer of a band, what genre band would it... folk... Yeah, Gazoos.
Say the question so we can understand. Don't not read it out, because if you don't read it out, we don't know.
If you were a lead singer of a band, what genre band would it be?
Folk.
I'd be in a folk band.
In a folk band.
Yeah, you can't imagine me in a rock and roll
band,
would you?
Why?
I've not got a rock and roll voice. I'm in a rock band.
So what? Hang on. So what kind of music do you class as folk? Because I've not heard you singing anything that's not up tempo.
If it was like an all-original band, it'd be like stuff like what Jake Bugg plays, which is like folk, indie folk.
Is it though? Because it's just indie, it's not folk.
No, it's folk. It's like more Bob Dylan-y.
You can't even say folk, never mind.
Folk.
There's no A in folk.
I said folk.
There's no A in folk.
I'm not saying I said
You
folk.
are. You are saying F-A-L-K.
That'll be
folk.
Folk.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying folk. Folk music.
Folk music.
Folk music.
Folk.
I'm just trying to get the L in.
Folk.
You're just saying folk.
Folk, that's the word. Folk music.
With an L. Folk.
No, folk. No, folk music. Folk, like it rhymes with coke. Folk music.
That's not true.
It is true.
Folk.
It is.
Folk
music. No, folk music. Folk music.
I'm saying.
Honest to God, this
folk,
is so hard
like
for me not to throw a table at him.
Folk.
Next question.
Gaz Yu says Benitez is renowned.
Is what, sorry?
Is renowned.
Renowned
for bringing the best out players. I said this before, to be fair.
Go on.
He's renowned for bringing the best out of players. Are we hopefully seeing the start of this Iwobi? So far this season, in 2.5 games, he's been a big hand in 4 goals. He's done his job that he's meant to, which is probably more than the whole of last season. Would love him to prove me and a lot of Evertonians wrong, because there is definitely a player in there. They won't be proving you wrong, because he cost us, up to 30 million. And it's been 3 seasons. I just found a place in the squad.
2 seasons. 2 seasons.
Well, this is the 3rd, isn't it?
Yeah. No, people. You're a lot. Iwobi so far has been dross, right? But if he starts turning it around and getting some consistency, then brilliant. But you don't have to be. You have been so far. I've been the same. I think he's one of the, if not the biggest waste of money Everton have ever spent. If he turns that round, then absolutely superb. Absolutely super. If this manager gives him confidence and plays him in a position that he likes and it benefits the team, brilliant.
Okay.
Folk music.
Folk. Michael Wood says, "Hello lads. With the way the window was gone and what seems to be the big plan to get back on track financially, I think a potential Richarlison sale won't be such a bad thing. If Brand's department are doing the jobs currently, there should be already players in line to replace any big money sales. That should be... The plan is to sell him next season." Did she say folk?
Folk music.
She said folk.
Didn't.
She did.
Why is it buffering?
You just don't want to play it again because you know she said folk.
It's buffering, look.
Why don't you just use Google Translate?
Because this is better when you put something into the internet and just ask it to pronounce it. It's much better.
That's what Google Translate is.
Is it though?
Folk. You can even say it in Spanish for you.
I don't want it in Spanish. I don't want it translated. I want it in English.
Or like French. Folk music.
Folk music.
That's what music is in French, you know. La musique.
No, that's the music. If it's got Ellie in front of it, then it's the.
Oh, it's just musique. La musique.
Even in French, you're an idiot.
Play the musique. I got a good grade in French.
I didn't, and even I know.
Music. Folk music.
Folk music.
Folk.
See, no, it's not folk.
Folk.
It's folk music.
She said folk.
Piss off.
FOLK. Yeah. If you're going to sell Richarlison, the plan would be, right, we decide he's going next season, and we've got a season to get a backup then. Like what Leicester do, they know what player's going to be going next season. Let's get the, Leicester just signed Sumar. He'll be a replacement for Ndidi, who's not even gone yet.
Yeah.
And they'll get him up to speed. He'll be in the squad, in and out the squad. And then he'll be Ndidi.
Indeed.
He will be Ndidi.
No, that's what you got to do. You got to bring them in a year before you're going to sign a player. That's the way to do it. Like if we were selling Richarlison next summer, we should have brought his replacement in this summer.
That's what we should have done with Idrissa Gana Gay.
We
knew he was going in the summer.
Yeah.
Bring someone in the January that he was trying to get rid of him.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Richard Parr says, "Afternoon, lads. I know you feel quite strongly about this, Ped. and you were pretty clear about it on the News Daily.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't understand why some fans would endorse the sale of Richarlison this summer, even without having much time to replace him this summer. If the money involved was enough to allow the club to complete reset in terms of spending, I think a lot of fans would accept that. If we don't sell him, we'll be scrabbling around for cheap deals next summer as well. Then will we sell him next summer?
Is that person saying we should sell him now?
Yeah. I think so.
Who is it?
Richard.
Okay. I'll be very clear on this. I would be very annoyed at Everton if we were to sell one of our best players with less than a week.
Well, Dick L says 100 million for Richarlison. I'd be tempted. Just think we could sign 330 million players. But those 330 million players would be like, right, who's available?
When are we signing those players though?
Last time we did that, right? Who's available last minute? We got you Wolby.
Know what? It's great to have money, but we haven't got a great track record of signing players, even when we've had all the time in the world.
If the last minute, bless you.
Thank you.
If the last minute, bless you.
Thank you.
If the last minute, then you're taking a massive gamble, like we did last time when we said, well, we can't get Zaha.
Well, even that.
Who can we get?
Even that though, Iwobi, we've just been talking about it. We signed him, like you just said there. It's took him.
He's had two full seasons, and we're still saying now.
We're still saying, I wonder. Richarlison is so important to us that whoever comes in, if someone came in to replace him, even if we bought someone in, they'd have to hit the ground running straight away. Like, literally, because he's so important. Richarlison is a player who not only scores goals, but provides goals for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's what makes our team work. He's the player who bridges the gap between our midfield and our centre forward. So if we were to sell him, great, we'd have money in the bank, but we'd be weaker as a football team. And we've talked about this before. At the moment, we've got a team where it's like, people are like, this might push for Europe. That's with Richarlison, innit? You take Richarlison out of it, I don't think we're pushing for Europe. That means we've got a dead season. And it's great, next summer. But I'm sorry, I'm not getting any younger. None of us are getting any younger. I want to see Everton do well every season. You don't do that when you're selling one of your best two players for money that you can't do nothing with. And even if we did buy players, we'd be buying players in a rush. This is what I don't want to see. No, I get the idea of having £70 million or £100 million in the bank. That's great. That'll sort all that FFP.
We're talking about, we brought Rafa Benitez in to steady the ship and bring some stability back to the club. It doesn't help selling your best player in the summer. You're bringing
exactly.
Ship,
and I understand the temptation of going, we could get 17 million for this, and the player putting pressure on us, and the Kia Jorikov and those kind of people who are friends with Mashiri putting pressure on us, and people making decisions going, don't worry, we'll be fine next season, or you know what, Damari Gray will can play in that position. They can't, because if Damari Gray could play in that position, Paris Saint-Germain had won him. The point being is that maybe next summer, you sit down with Richarlison the next few days and go, listen, no, you wanted to go, or we know we've had this bid, but it's too late. Next summer, yes, and we'll prepare for it. Like Villa said they did with Grealish, we'll prepare for it, because we know next summer we'll get 70 million for you, or even if we get 60 for you, next summer we'll sell you and we'll get 3 players lined up. But my argument is, right, this is my argument on it, and listen, if you disagree with me, that's fine. My argument is, right, if we thought we were going to sell him, then we should have got our targets in, shouldn't we? Like Villa did. We should have gone out and gone, right, we're spending 15 million on a right back, or 20 million on a right back, 20 million on him, and 20 million on him. But we didn't do that. So that means that we've missed our targets, and we weren't preparing to sell Richarlison or anyone else for big money.
Everton Blue says, Ned, what you chatting? Richie ain't going. I never said he was going.
No one's saying he's going. What we're saying is in the next few days, prepare yourselves for speculation, because it will. There'll be speculation. That we've just done the News Daily, and it would have been dead easy to go on with the Richarlison story, but I can't be asked, because it's all rumour at the moment, and I don't want to add to the speculation. I did the News Daily about it. The Daily Live Extra earlier about what the people think about it, because that's a reaction show rather than a news show. But be prepared in the next few days for more and more of these stories, because they're going to try and put the pressure on both sides. Paris Saint-Germain have said today that they're not selling Mbappe for less than they paid for him, right? So Real Madrid will come back for him. And they might get him. Because if he's free next summer. Paris Saint-Germain will be thinking, right, well, what's the point now? We've got Messi. And I was talking to Paul about it before, Paul Mason from the Redmen. He was like, well, Charlison, really? And I was like, yeah, but think about it like this. Nobody's good enough to replace Mbappe. Nobody. But if you can get a cheaper version who plays in a similar position, that can play all the games in France for you, and will also give you something in the Champions League, maybe not the top level, but that's why you've got Messi, that's why you've got Neymar, that's why you've brought in all those amazing players. There's no way Paris Saint-Germain can replace Mbappe. There's no one out there they can replace him with, unless they went for Ronaldo, and the chat is they're not going for Ronaldo. Apparently, the only place Ronaldo can go is City.
If they wanted to replace Mbappe, they'd have to spend the money they make on him.
Exactly. Well, there's no one who'd replace him with. There's no one in the world.
Haaland, but they're not getting Haaland.
He's not the same as Haaland. He's not the same as Haaland. He's a wide forward who's faster than everybody, right? There's no one. Maybe Sancho, but obviously he's gone to United. So you have to look for a cheaper alternative. Richarlison fits the bill. So, you know, he's not the same. He's Neymar's mate. He'll get games in France. He'll get Champions League games. But Everton, I think, would be mad to let him go. Just from the pointers, we would be weakening our team. That's the only way to look at it. You try every season to strengthen your team, right? You can sell good players and use the money and bring in more good players and make that squad stronger. If we were to sell Richarlison, we would be making our team weaker. Simple as that. And that's why there's no way I would endorse it for any amount of money. For any amount of money.
Everton, I don't think Everton.
But in the next few days, you'll hear it loads. You'll hear it loads, and people will be like, Everton would be mad to not take that money. Would we? Bayern Munich, I'm talking about Lewandowski, who's 33, and they could be offered mad money for him. And they won't sell him, because who'd you replace Lewandowski with? He scores goals every season. Every season he scores goals.
They've got a player in the youth squad.
Is he going to score?
Called Haaland.
Is he
at Dortmund?
Well, he's at Dortmund, and he ain't signing for them this year, is he? So
no, not when.
And that weakens them.
Goal.
And that weakens them.
Gareth Hughes says the world has officially gone mental. The now fella who was the baby on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind, he's suing the band, but he's recreated that photo himself all the time.
He's suing you know what he's suing the band for?
Well, for his genitalia being on the cover photo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he's bragged about it and done interviews.
I don't know.
And
That's up to him, isn't it?
Time.
Maybe Skinton thinks it's an easy way to make money. At the end of the day, is junk has been on public view for 30 years.
Maybe seeing how much money other people are making from having junk online.
Maybe.
I want some of that. Gray's on about this song from before. Alexander says, well, lads, I'm bedridden for the next few days, waiting on the result of a COVID test. Insert sick meerkat noises here. Oh.
How long is your COVID test going to take? I thought you can get them back. Have you just done a home one?
He says, anyway, non-football related question. What did you guys think of the new Spider-Man trailer? It was good.
It was very
unbelievable. Left a lot of little hidden hints.
It's unbelievable. That film looks just nuts.
Yeah. AJ says number 4 is Sweet Little Mystery by Wet Wet.
Sweet Little Mystery. Baz would have got that.
Sweet Little Mystery. Number 5 is You To Me Are Everything by The Real Thing.
Yeah, I knew The Real Thing. Yeah, that's it. You to me are everything. The sweetest song that I could sing. Oh baby.
Oh baby.
Cool.
AJ says, do you think if John Lennon didn't die, the Beatles would have performed Live Aid?
The Beatles would have got back together because John was talking to Paul at the time, and they were looking at doing something. Probably in the studio. Do you know why the Beatles stopped playing live?
No.
So basically, I think it was 66.
Was the last one on the hotel roof?
It was on the roof of the record company, but that was a one-off. That was like the last thing they ever did. But they stopped playing live. They stopped playing live about 66, I think. And the reason they stopped playing live was because they become like a serious group by then. But they said it was pointless to perform live because no one could hear them over the screaming girls. And they just said, what was the point? They just said there was no point anymore in performing live. So that's why they started doing loads of studio albums and stuff like that. And then they started going the sort of their own ways, obviously, in life. But the day John Lennon died, he did a radio interview in New York, and he was saying how excited he was about the future and how him and John had been talking, how him and Paul had been talking, and basically they were talking about getting together, probably going back in the studio together, and then maybe later. So Live Aid actually could have been. Imagine the Beatles had played Live Aid. Jesus Christ. And that was taken away by one idiot. Sadly. Just moments in. Have you watched the? Hang on, what show is it? Is it Watchmen? Have you watched Watchmen?
Watchmen.
The TV show. That's amazing. Is it Watchmen where John Lennon's alive?
I watched yesterday and
no, that's
they had like a mock-up John Lennon at the end, but didn't even have a Scouse accent. Sound like he was on Witness.
Is it Watchmen where John? What is it though? There's a. No, it's not Watchmen. It's something I watched recently and I can't remember what it is. Which is like
the Peter Jackson one.
No, it's like an alternative. It's like an alternative universe show, and John Lennon's still alive, and in the show he's like the barometer for. Oh, it's For All Mankind. For All Mankind, which is on Apple TV, which is an amazing show. It's about if the Russians had beaten the Americans to the moon. And basically what happens is, without ruining it, because they beat Russia to the moon, Russia beats the America to the moon, there's a proper space race. So the other space race was like bankrupted America, didn't it? But because it's a proper space race and they end up having like both of them have bases on the moon, and technology develops much more quicker. So there's like mobile phones in the 80s because technology is going faster because we're having to keep up with each other. And one of the things that happens is John Lennon doesn't die. So all the way through it, he's like a spokesman for that generation. So I'm trying to think what you'd compare him to now. He's just a spokesman for the generation, basically.
Andy Burnham.
No, not Andy Burnham. I don't think many people outside this country know who Andy Burnham is. He's like a spokesman for the world. He's like, anytime something happens, they go to John Lennon because he's like a cultural ambassador for the world. And it's such a good program. If you've got Apple TV, which you might do if you're watching Ted Lasso.
I don't have Apple TV.
It's so good. It's so good. It's just little things. It's not like a massive chasm. It's not like this would have happened or that would have happened.
Like what if?
It's just little things. Like slightly different things in life would be different. Like we get like you get like electric power quicker for cars and stuff. You get mobile phone. Technology just moves so much faster. So by the end of the second season, something happens and it's in the mid-90s. And actually the last scene in it, you should watch it, brilliant. The last scene of it, something happens and you hear bow, 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 bow.
So who plays John Lennon?
What song is that? Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow.
I don't know.
Just been talking about the band.
It was sung.
Nirvana, Come As You Are.
Come as you are, as you were.
How did you not get that from the...
You were singing in the wrong key.
I wasn't singing the wrong key.
That was the wrong key.
It wasn't at all. You can't even say folk. So don't talk to me about keys.
As a friend. That was definitely the wrong key. Okay. Gareth Hughes says, sure there will be lots of comments about the ref last night, but I'll take one positive on the official performances. At least it makes the standard of the reffing at the Premier League level look almost acceptable. Yeah,
they're always terrible in the area. They're
trying to show off, aren't
they?
Yeah,
they're like, look at me.
That offside was just him trying to do something, so everyone just looks at him. He just made himself look like an idiot. Bobby C says, with manufacturing and service industries, or which manufacturing
all
and
the
service
footy
industries
questions.
do better, and therefore should be in private hands rather than state-owned. By private hands, I mean everything ranging from individual ownership and family-owned businesses to professional partnerships and cooperatives.
Which one should be?
I don't understand I don't understand the
None.
question.
Everything should be publicly owned. Everything, even Toffee TV. Let me just give a big shout out to John, one of our patrons who owns the Toffee shop. He sent us these brilliant coasters. Got loads of designs like this. Dead smart t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. John, thank you for that. Thank you. They're boss them. He sent us two. Hang on. You actually might be able to. He sent us these as well. I don't know where we're going to put them, but we might need to get frames for them. Have you seen these?
Oh, the posters?
Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing, them. Yeah, I've seen them.
He sent us these as well. These are.
That's like some skill.
He sent us that as well. We'll have to get some frames. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 to listen to the Goodison Raw. He sent us that one, and he sent us this one as well. There you go.
That is boss.
John, thank you, my friend. He does t-shirts and all kinds. So make sure the coasters are boss.
I like them.
Yeah, you're not having them.
They're glossy.
The glossy.
I've just used one, mate, so joke's on you, mate. I've just been looking for football questions and I found one. James Bush says, where's the Arteta money?
Might be where's the Richarlison money soon, mightn't it? Hey, know what I'm saying?
It's where's the Thierry Small money? Where's the compensation?
Getting it soon.
Bob Joe says Gabamin is the only real 6 we have at the club.
I
suppose.
Tom Davies is a 6.
Yeah, that's true.
Gabamin will take time though. He'll take time. He'll take a whole lot of money. He'll take a whole lot of. No, that's the lyrics to the song. No, he'll take time. Gabamin. No one should put any pressure on Gabamin. We talked about this in the match in the final word. No one should put any pressure on him. He will take time. He looked very rusty last night, but he got 90 minutes under his belt, which is huge. Really good.
Massive.
Really good for him. Not played in imagine not playing a competitive game of football for 2 years at any level and walking on the pitch and with all those things going through your mind, all those doubts, all those fears, all that worry.
You must be like so worried about
But you know what, first half, he played a lovely little ball inside the channel of the left back.
His stats, we looked at them before.
His stats were good.
Really good.
Stats were good for the game. It's just that after about half an hour, the pace of it just started catching up with him. But he'll need that. He'll need those 90 minutes in his. And he never looked like embarrassed or anything like that. So fair play to him.
Everton Blue says all these YouTube channels with their fake news, but none of them ever played football before. Really not talking about us.
Hang on, what's one got to do with the other?
I have no idea. Patrick Lally says, would you take 80 million for Richarlison and Julian Draxler?
No.
Julian Draxler's...
No. I'll be honest, I wouldn't take any amount of money for Richarlison right now.
Julian Draxler's a waste of talent.
I wouldn't take any amount of money for Richarlison right now. I just wouldn't.
Get it next season.
Yeah, next summer. Next summer people can have him next summer. It's like when remember when Garner was about to go and Everton were like, no, and then he was amazing for the rest of the season, and then he got his move to Paris Saint-Germain. And then I was like, it's fine, it's the summer, it's the middle, well, it wasn't, it was like still like the last couple of weeks, wasn't it? We sold him the day we played Wigan. And then also I think the window shut on the day the season started. It doesn't matter. It's money can sit in the bank, Sam. Well, what's it doing? It's not doing anything. That's where the Arteta money came from. We sold Arteta and the money disappeared. That's where that whole phrase come from. Where's the Arteta money? Because we never bought anyone with him. Because he went on the final day and we never bought anyone the next window with it. And that's where that phrase come from. And it'd be the same with this. Sound, there'll be money in the bank. Brilliant. Money in the bank doesn't win games of football on the pitch. It just doesn't. You have to have players on the pitch. Great, money in the bank, amazing. So what? And I know we've got to sort our FFP out, but...
And if you try and replace him in a very short amount of time, you end up
Not for
30
me.
million on players.
There's no amount of money that I would take to cover Richarlison right now.
Jono says get rid of Keane for Garner and some extra cash. I'd take Garner on loan. If he's included in a swap deal for Keane, that would mean we still get money we want for Keane. Then perfect.
Keane, they're not coming in for Keane.
Do you think Keane will?
The one you said? Did you say before? If Ronaldo went to, was it you or someone else? If Ronaldo went to Man City, Juventus might come in for Keane.
It was you.
Was it me? No, someone said it to me before though. I thought it was you.
I don't think Juventus will come in for Keane.
Oh, they might.
What about Inter? Because Dzeko scored for them last week, didn't they?
Inter are not coming for
They've
Keane.
got Dzeko
They're
now.
not
He
coming
scored
for
last
Keane.
week, didn't he?
But if Ronaldo went to City, then maybe they would take Keane back for like 20 million.
For 20 though.
Yeah.
Would you think Everton will take the loss on him?
I'd take 20 million.
Liam Munro says, spot on Ped, leg them all, Richie looks happy enough. He's staying put way too late.
Even if he's not happy, look at Kane today. Kane's had to bite the bullet today, hasn't he? He's come out and said, I'm not leaving because he knows a deal can't be done. City are not willing to go any higher and Spurs are not taking the money. And that's the stance Everton should take. If for me, Kane is the most important player at Spurs and they're refusing to sell him because the valuation is not being matched. Simple as that. And there's nothing now in the last week anyway. If Spurs sold Kane today, they would not get a player in. The players in. City have had all summer to buy him and haven't. And Kane's had to make the decision today. Fair play to Spurs for doing that. And it's the same now. We're in the final week. If PSG or anyone else would come in for Richarlison in June or July and said it's 75 million, then I would have said, sounds, I don't want to lose him, but let's take that money, sort our FFP out, and let's go and buy some players. But transfer deadline is next Tuesday.
6 days.
Not happening for me. It could happen, but if it was me in charge, I'd just go, no. The season's already started. We're not selling one of our best players after the season started. It's not happening.
The thing about Keane, though, Ronaldo will leave Juventus because he's told him you don't play me against Udinese, isn't it?
Well, they apparently Juventus would be willing to sell because of how much he's on wages wise. So they're willing to sell him. They're not making the money back. But only City could probably afford his wages.
I can't see him going City, to be honest. I think City would rather invest in a younger.
I think City would take him for a year.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I can just think PSG would be like,
I don't think
Messi, Ronaldo.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they've got the facilities.
They'd have the facilities if they had all those players.
Well, they might, but don't you think though? Do you think though one of the things about Ronaldo is that he actually wouldn't want to be in a team with Messi because then he is playing not second fiddle, he's playing even fiddle.
He wants to be the main.
He wants to be the main man. I think that's the thing. I think if he went to City have got loads of boss players, but they've got no huge stars, have they? Like Grealish runs $1 million, but he's not a star. Grealish ain't selling shirts in Thailand, is he?
Ronaldo would still be the main, even with next to Kevin De Bruyne.
Grealish isn't selling shirts in America, is he? Ronaldo's selling shirts everywhere. And I think that's for them. He could be the big star.
Maybe he should come play for us. We've got James Rodriguez. PCAT says, afternoon lads and fellow Blues. Positives from last night. We won.
Yeah.
95 minute in the tank for Gabamin.
Yeah.
He will be put in another good shift and in the hat for the next round.
Yeah.
Anything on the transfer front? I noticed Benitez said last night something about fresh faces coming in. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Jay Fearon says, boom, we found today's gem from Ned. OJ Simpson. Crikey Moses, Ned, never change. My history isn't...
Do you know what? Ned is a symptom of the current generation that they don't look 5 minutes in the past. It's not his fault. He's a victim. He's a victim in all this. He's a victim. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Thank you.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Thank you.
You're supposed to break down and cry now. Like, you haven't even seen that film, have you? You haven't seen Good Will Hunting, have you?
Oh, Matt Damon.
You haven't seen Good Will Hunting, have you?
Oh
my God! See, this is what I'm talking about.
I told you I've watched it. I watched it with Meg once, like 2 years ago. I did not like it. I just thought it was a bit dross. There was one good scene where he tried to start a fight with a fella in a bar. That was funny.
This is the problem.
Let's take it outside.
This is the problem with the generation.
Paul Matt says, "Who's this wool?" He's from he's from Toffee. Come on.
Who's this wool?
From Toffee.
I have actually had people saying, that I'm from the Wirral. I think they said me and Baz are both from the Wirral.
Cam said to me, Ped and Baz aren't real Scousers, they're from South London. I was like, Ped's from Toffee.
From South London?
South
End?
South Liverpool.
Mate.
Like, Ped's from Toffee.
Listen,
Baz is a posh Scouser.
Me and Baz were both born in Oxford Street in town. I was brought up in L8. I was brought up in the streets where they filmed Peaky Blinders, and then we moved to the streets where they filmed Bread. As far as I'm concerned, if you can't see the river from where you were, from where you were born, then
I was brought up in Thatto
in the Thatto
for 3 years until I moved to Sutton. That's why I've got some
No Way Home trailer is had 355.5 million views in 24 hours. Could you imagine
that's like 10 times more.
Could you imagine the monetization on that? Imagine Marvel looking at their Google account going, "Oh, hello."
Sony just turn around and go, "Bill, you didn't monetize it. Get out."
Imagine if someone hadn't monetized that. Right, come on, go through them fast.
Let's wrap it up. Kev says, "We keep saying we want to have the Leicester model of selling high and reinvesting it in the squad. Then every time one of our players links with big clubs, the fans go nuts." No, but they've got a plan as if, right, he's going next year for 100 million. Let's get a replacement in now. Let's get organised. We're just like, 100 million, yeah, go on then. And then we end up in a big mess. Or we sell one of our best players and replace him with 4 number 10s. Kevin Kraft says, "Nothing wrong with Ned. Good lad." Good cry.
See, the patrons know you. It's the YouTube people who don't.
Yeah, they do.
Patrons are all over you.
Patrons, especially.
They know you're a warm-hearted soul.
Especially the patrons' wives.
It's a true story.
Can't blame him for these calves.
It's a true story.
Adam Brooks says last night was too close to a call. It was more than strong enough squad to beat them, but it was a bit scary. Andre Gomez getting that start 11, rather have him over Gabamin. Well, Gabamin's not in the starting 11, is he? It won't be for a Saturday anyway. Peter Crosby says, "How do you like them apples?"
Exactly.
Which apples? Because there's many different types.
No, you don't get it because you haven't paid attention. You haven't paid attention to the through line of the show.
Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
Richard says if Richo that's his new name, if Richo leaves, it has to be in January after we've done our deals. I don't think it'll be.
It wouldn't even be January.
No one's spending that money in January.
Wouldn't even be January. It'd be next summer.
Killian says, "What's your opinion on Andre Gomez staying part of the team, and how much money would you let him go?" I imagine Everton would let him go for about 10, 15
Yeah,
million.
12 million I'd let him go for.
He cost us 20. He's been here a couple of years.
I'd let him go for like 12 million, but he was good when he came on last night. So fair play.
Have a look. Everton Blues, I would put Michael Keane on free transfer. You may as well just let him finish out his contract.
Can you?
You get
Can't
your
really
money
do
worth
that.
them. Matthew Allen, would Ronaldo have no shame going to City?
Why would he have no? What's the shame?
United's rivals. No, he's not.
Difference does it make though? Ultimately, if he's after a new challenge, and no one else can afford them, but I mean, that's football, isn't it? Ultimately, that's football. He's a top player. He could go to a top club. He's never played for Pep Guardiola before. It'd be great to have him back in the Premier League, wouldn't it?
I wanted Messi to come to City.
I wanted Messi to come, but see, I would love Ronaldo and Messi to be playing for Paris Saint-Germain. I would love that. I would love to see that.
I do want to make sure City win the league.
That would be like Pacquiao versus Mayweather, wouldn't it? When they were, again.
I don't know, because that match was terrible.
Not when they were in the peak. They should have fought in the peak.
Lennox Lewis versus Tyson Fury.
Did that actually happen?
No, but imagine if it did happen. Because Ronaldo and Messi's not happened yet, has it?
Okay. I mean,
that would be amazing.
I think you're putting Tyson Fury on a bit of a high platform there. But there you go.
I think Tyson Fury is incredible.
I mean, I think all other boxers who are slightly older would have just destroyed them.
In modern heavyweight football.
Modern heavyweight boxing's terrible.
It is now, anyway.
Anthony Joshua can't.
90s was probably.
Anthony Joshua can't box, and yet he's the champion.
He didn't have much of an amateur career, did he? Peter says, question for you lads, what company is the world's biggest tyre manufacturer?
What company's the world's biggest tyre manufacturer?
Yeah.
Is it Pirelli?
I don't think so.
Why? Why don't you think so? Why don't you think so?
Because my missus has got Pirelli tyres.
Yeah.
And she didn't pay a lot of money for them.
But why would the cost of them be in relation to they are the biggest company in the world?
Revenue?
Well, is everything on Amazon £1,000?
No.
Is everything in McDonald's £20?
I'm not following you.
You're not following me. So you think that to be the most successful company, everything has to be that expensive?
Imagine the best quality would be the most expensive.
Why does it have to be the most? Why has to be the best quality? That's not how the world works. You have a product and you sell it. You have a range of products.
Let's look at the
Go on.
world.
It's either Pirelli or Bridgestone.
Leading tyre
Go on.
manufacturers.
I don't know why. Why is this question?
Bridgestone's number 1.
Yeah.
Then it's McKellen, Goodyear, and Continental's number 4. Never heard of
Michelin,
them.
you mean, is second.
I've never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Well, Pirelli are they make the tyres for Formula 1. That's why I said them. Yeah, that's why I said it.
Interesting. Adam Brooks says Keane's goal should have stood. I saw the highlight. It was
Yeah,
criminal.
should have well stood.
You could see the line on the pitch.
Yeah, you could see the line on the pitch.
I thought it was just
They were
his
even.
shoulder or something.
They were the same place.
Like you said before, there's no VAR. Give the benefit of the doubt to the striker.
Yeah.
Because if there was VAR, they would have given the benefit of the doubt of him anyway. If it was inches, like they've said now. Wormy Spoon says Dunlop. Felix says, all praise to Gavami, but aside from the red, Moyes looked decent. The finish was good, yeah. Great finish for the disallowed goal. Right, we shall leave it to there.
Is that everything? Everything?
Gotta go
Keith Powers, isn't it Goodyear? We'll find out at the end of the season whether it's Goodyear.
Acre Goodyear, the model. Ahmed says, Ned, your hair looks smart.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's a nice compliment. Ahmed's a nice person.
I know, I love him, me.
Ahmed's a good person.
I put some hair.
Ahmed's got a nice car and nice tyres. Although when I saw him, he had 3 nice tyres.
He's a doctor, isn't he?
He is, but yeah.
Give us some.
He's got a nice car. Nice car. I've seen him in.
Nice. Right, there you
He's
go.
worked hard.
We've got some stuff to shoot and
Worked
edit.
hard. Well, we've got one thing to shoot.
Of course, he's worked hard. He's a patron.
Right there, of course. All our patrons are solid citizens.
All our patrons are just top
right
guys.
there you go. Big thanks for joining us over, even if we didn't talk that much about football, but we never do on these
You didn't
shows.
get a lot of questions about football, and when they did, it was just, where's the Arteta money?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know.
Yeah, let's hope that.
See this telly.
Let's hope that doesn't turn into waste of a Charlison money. There you go. We'll be back tomorrow on Patreon. The final word is out. The match preview for Brighton will be out on Patreon tonight as well. So check that out. We'll be back on Patreon tomorrow. See you later.